Hello everyone, welcome to Coding Techniques. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to work with Share Target plugin, whose demo you have already seen. And if you haven't checked our website yet, go and check out right now. A lot of offers are going on, and do check our membership program too. In fact, you have lots of offers in the membership program. What are you waiting for? Go and enroll right now. You get an opportunity to get in touch with me and we can start learning all together. So go and check all of it in the description. It's time to start the video. Let's get started. To start off, we are going to create an Ionic application at first. Now, after creating the project, I'm going to directly start with the plugin, for which I'll go to the browser and search for Capawesome. I'll get the first link. I need to open it up. Within this, you have to go to the plugin section. Within the plugin, if you just scroll down or you can simply search, you will find Share Target. Get inside that. Now, how to go ahead with this plugin, I'll show you everything step by step. Once you get here, you need to scroll down to the installation part. Copy the first URL because you need to remember one thing, that this is a paid plugin. You have to go to Capawesome Insiders. Now within this insider, if you just scroll down, you can choose a sponsorship tier. Now there are various options that you can enroll to, like there is an individual insider, business insider and enterprise insider. Each of them is having a different price. You can go for individual insider if you are working standalone, where you can build 1 to 3 applications using this particular plugin. Now, I already have the individual insider subscribed, so I will directly use it up. Without that, you cannot use this particular plugin. Remember that. So, I'll copy the first command and hit here. That's it. Now, copy the second command where you will be needing a token that will be generated only when you subscribe to it. So, I'll just paste it and pass my coupon code here. So those steps are done. The next step is to install this particular plugin. So this is also done. Next step is to work with the Android and iOS platforms and even web too. So all the setup needs to be done. We will do everything step by step. So at first, I will go to my capacitor.config.ts file where I will change my app ID and app name. The app ID that I need to pass can be of this kind, or I can change it a bit. Like for example, let me keep Cap Share Target. I think that would be better. It's time to add the platforms Ionic Cap, add iOS. Once that is done, go for Android. But one thing is missing is the www folder, for which I have to run Ionic build at first. After this is done, you can simply run Ionic Cap sync command to sync everything whatever is being done in the www folder in the respective platforms. Alright, let's get back to our code. Now we need to set up something. If you just want to share the URLs or text, you can use this particular part in your Android manifest file. For single image, this particular part. For multiple image, this particular part. Let me just show you what am I going to do. Let me go to Android manifest file, where within this application, after this intent filter, I'll paste few of the things. What are those? Just check it properly. This is for text. This is for single image. This is for video, and if you want multiple images, definitely you can pass it up. And these are the intent filter which I just passed. Same stuff. Next, go to ProGuard and just copy and paste it up. So just simply search for ProGuard rules. Scroll towards the bottom, paste it. So the Android setup is done. It's time to go for iOS setup, which is little tricky, so be very careful when I am doing that. Watch carefully. So copy the first part. We have to go to the info.plist file and paste it. So I've copied it. I'll get to info.plist file, where I'll just scroll towards the bottom and paste this code. Now here, I need to change the URL scheme. I need to pass my own. So let me pass cap share target. I think that would be better. Just pass any name, but make sure you are passing same name everywhere wherever it's required for this scheme. So this is my name, and what's the next step? It's written here. You have to change your URL scheme. Next step is to go to the Xcode and do something there. So let's get back to Xcode and work on it. Now before going to the app share part, just remember one thing. In your project.pbxproj file, you just need to search this particular file and check your version of the object. So if the object version, whatever the version is, just remember that version, copy it somewhere. That will be needed later on. for which I'll run the command Ionic cap open iOS. Now the Xcode is opened up. I'll select the simulator at first. What is the step which you need to follow is to go to File, New and Target. So I'll just go towards the top at File, New and Target. Once I get to that, what I need to do next, I have to go to, select Share Extension from the list of templates, name your extension App Share and click Finish. So what I need to do is I'll just scroll towards the bottom. This is the one, Share Extension, select it up, go to Next, pass the product name, App Share. That's what I'm going to do. This is my development team, which is already being passed. Everything is fine. You don't need to do anything else actually. Just go for finish. And if it is asking for activate, don't activate it. Keep it as it is. Now go to app. You will see here an app share, which is showing up. Now what you need to do here is go to signing and capabilities and select your team. Okay. And here also you select your team. So in both the cases, we have the team. What is the next step? You need to go to the app share folder, which is present here, or let's do it in the Xcode itself. So we have the app share, and within the app share, this main interface, we will delete it up. Now, after you delete this up, there is an info.plist file that is available within the app share also. Let me just show you. I'll just search for info.plist within the app share. Look at that. If you just want, you can just check it here also. This is the info.plist file that is available. Now you need to replace everything here with the one that is available here. So copy and replace everything. Once everything is replaced, the next part is to copy this particular code and pass it in the share view controller.swift that is available within the app share folder itself. So get here and replace everything here. Okay. Once you replace everything, what you need to do, you need to pass your URL scheme here too. Which is the URL scheme? I have just removed it, and the URL scheme that I passed in the info.plist file here. So just copy the same. Don't make any mistakes. One mistake can lead to multiple problems. So be very careful and cautious while doing that. After you do that up, what is the next step you need to do? Let's check it out. Okay, you need to also replace the app identifier. But what is the app identifier? Well, we can simply pass our capacitor.config.ts file, the app ID. I'll copy it and I will just pass it here. Now, how this is working, I'm going to explain you in some time. For the time being, just pass it up. Well, the next step is to go to appdelegate.swift and make some changes there. Let me get back to appdelegate.swift. This is the one where what I'll do, I need to pass an import. So just copy this import part, paste it here, and you need to create a variable. In which function? Let me just show you. Just scroll towards the bottom. The second last function, this is the one where I need to pass it. Now what does this mean? It is written here. If you want, I can simply pass it here so that you don't forget why exactly we are using it up. So the setup is almost complete. What next we need to do? We need to go to capabilities within the Xcode. So within the Xcode, look at that. I'll go to app at first, and these are the capability. I'll click on it and I need to double click on app groups. Now once I do that up, I'll see here app groups. Now, these are the earlier groups which I have already created. Now I'm going to create another group, and after this group dot, I'm going to pass my app ID. So the app ID that I passed here, it needs to be the same. So don't make any mistake, don't pass anything else. If you make some mistake, nothing is going to work as properly as it should be. So I've passed it and it's ready to go. Then go to app share, do the same stuff, capability, double click on app groups, wait for some time. Once everything is ready, create one, pass the same stuff and click on OK. Now once these are added, what is the next step? Well, all the configuration is done here for the iOS. Now what about the web? For the web, you can add manifest.json file. So what am I going to do? We need to create a PWA, but I'm not going to run any command. I will create two files. One is for service worker that is called sw.js file, and other one is for the manifest. Let me just show you. Now in the src folder, I'll create a file which I'm going to name it as manifest.json, and I will paste some of the things. Now what are those? Well, some basic stuff like the app name, short name, and some basic information. If you don't want to pass something of that kind, you can simply skip that part. Rest is related to the share target that is shown here. So just copy this particular part and simply paste it here. That's it. After you do that, you need to create another file in the src folder. So create a file called sw.js. Within this file, I have to copy everything from the service worker. So copy everything from here and simply pass it here. Okay. So this is done and you don't need to change anything here. Possibly, let's check it out. If I just scroll towards the bottom, nothing is shown to change. Now the next part is to register your service in your main JavaScript file. So I'll copy it up and I'll get to the main.ts file. That's our main file, where at the top after the imports, I'm going to simply pass it. Now here there is one change which I need to make. I need to remove this slash from here. That should be given if it is outside of the src folder. So once everything is done, we need to start working with our main functionality, that is the add listener. So whenever you are sharing some data, whether it's title, text, URLs, or even the image, this listener will get triggered. But before that, there is one more thing that I need to do. I need to get to angular.json file because these two files are created but they are not connected yet with our project. So I'll go to angular.json file, and here if I just scroll down, I need to make some changes. So within the architect build, if you just scroll down, you will find assets, and here the manifest.json file and then the service worker file. So pass it in the similar fashion and everything is good to go. So everything is connected now. It's time to work with the functionality. So let's go to our home page, TS file. Now I'm going to show everything step by step, which I've already implemented. So what am I doing here is I'm creating 3 writable signal functions: text, title, and files, which will hold text, text array, simple title, and files array too. For the files array, I will create an interface that will be passed before the component that will hold name, type, and URL. Then I will be creating a listener. So let me just import it from @capacitor/code along with some other features too I've imported. Now what exactly I need to do, I'll show you one by one. But before that, let me get rid of this errors, import everything properly. So now I have a listener here. In the ng on it, I'm calling a function. This function holds the listener, share received, and a callback. Within this callback, which will be an async function, because we are going to do what? At first, we are setting everything to empty, title, text, and files. And then if we have some files in the event that will be triggered, then we will work on it. And for the title and text, if there is anything, I'm directly going to pass it there. Now here I'm creating a constant which will be of type shared files array that will hold all the values within the array. So I'm using promise.all function because I'll be mapping everything within the async function here. Okay, because I need to get the web path out of it, because we'll be getting the file URL that will be of different kinds. So I need to call this convert file src. So it will convert a file path into a usable src, and that is by default available within the capacitor. So it is imported from @capacitor/core and you can use it up. The next steps are already written here. In fact, the web path is also passed here. So simply have these 3 things. Now this for each might not work in some cases. It's better to use mapping. But with for each, the only problem is the async part. That is why mapping is fine. There async works properly. So you can just try it out. So with mapping, if you use promise.all, you won't face a problem. That is important. And finally, once you get all of it, simply prepare your shared file. That is name, for which I'm using extract file name, because the file name which we will be getting, I need to extract the name out of it. So this is the how I'm going to split everything and get all the parts and finally get the last part. that will be holding the name. So once you get that, that will be my name, and then the type will be blob.type, whatever we get out of it. And finally, the URL that we are going to extract from the blob itself. Once everything is done, once you get outside of this particular mapping part and along with the values that you get out of this shared files, then simply pass these shared files in your files writable signal function that we have created. Once that is done, everything is good to go and you are good to go ahead. So just simple console logs, that's it. And in ng on destroy, which is very important, you need to destroy your listener if you're not willing to use it anymore. Now, after you do that, in the HTML, I'm going to design it up in some cool fashion, which I'm just going to show you. So I'm just having the header content and everything. If you want the source code, you can check out the description. You don't need to spend time in understanding that. So I'll just move directly to the next step, which will be the styling part. So replace everything that you have here with the one that I'm passing, which you can simply check it here. So the setup is done. It's time to start working with that. To start working and testing it up, I'll at first run Ionic Cap sync. Now in the syncing, I get an error. This is related to Cocoa Pods, but the problem is, I'll show you. Just scroll towards the bottom. There is a troubleshooting part. Just get to that. Now what is happening here is, unable to find compatibility version string for object version 70. So this thing basically is the problem that we are facing. Just simply search for 70 here. As of now, this is the version that is creating the problem. You have to go to project.pbx project. So get inside that. You have to replace it with the earlier version that you had. So the earlier version in my case is 48. So I'm just replacing with that. So now we have changed the version to our earlier version. Now let's sync the project once again and see whether it works or not. As you can see, no errors. It's time to run our project in Android and iOS. Let's go for it. So Ionic Cap, open. Let's go for iOS. So the iOS is ready. Now here, if you see App Share, click on it, go to Manage Schemes and click on plus button. Just go for OK. This is app which we need because App Share, we cannot run it from there. Close it. Now you see app. If you don't see that, you can simply toggle here. So everything is fine. Let's go for run button and see whether it works or not. All right, I was facing some trouble with the app bundle ID. So actually I exhausted it, the limit. Now I change it to something else. In your case, probably you might not face that problem. So you don't need to worry about anything else to do. What we need to do next is I need to just hit the run button and get it running. Okay, build succeeded. Now you can see it is up and running in my simulator. Now how do we test it up? What I'll do is I'll go to my browser in which I have opened up my website. codingtechniques.com/templates is the one where we have a lot of templates. You can simply check. We have lots of courses also that are available. You can check that also if you haven't checked it out. You can get 50% off on all the templates if you join our membership program, especially the Growth Squad or above that. Moving ahead, how do I share it up? I'll simply hit here and I do get the option. You can see our app name. I'll click here and look at that. I'm getting my title along with the text part too. This is the text that is coming up and we have the title files is null. So that's what we get out of it. It's time to check for the image if we can share that or not. So let me just try to share an image from the photos. So I'm into the photos and let me just try to share any image that is available. I'll get here and you see the image is showing up. So the image is working, the text and title is also working for our iOS project. Now let's move to the Android project, for which I will run the command Ionic Cap open Android. Let's go for it. Now my Android Studio is opened up and ready. I'll just hit the run button and the application will start running. Now you can see the Android app is up and running. It's time to test it out the same way we did for iOS. Now here I have opened up the Chrome browser where my website is already opened up. I just need to share it. So I'll just click this three dot, click on share and I get the option to share via our application. I'll click on that and it is shared. Now it's time to try for the image. So let me go to photos. One image is already opened up. Let me try to share it via our application and it is shared, which means it is properly up and running. So now Android and iOS is properly working. It's time to check it in web. To make it work in web, what we need to do, we need to launch it up somewhere. You can use ngrok, but it might give you some errors possibly. So you can launch it in Vercel or any other platform. In GitHub pages, it might not work properly because you have to change the links everywhere in manifest file and in SW file. So it's better to launch it somewhere easily. Now in my case, I'm just going to deploy it in Firebase, which is quite simple to use. I will run the command firebase init because Firebase login is already run. If you haven't run the Firebase login, go for Firebase login command at first. I'll choose hosting here. I have an existing project where I'm going to directly launch it up. Alright, go for yes here. Select the region which is closer to your location. Let me go for this location. No. And the setup is complete. You just need to go to firebase.json file, and here you have source. Remove the source and I have to replace it with something else. So I'll replace this source with public, where I'm going to hit the www folder because that's where our stuff is present, basically which we are going to deploy. And then rewrites source and destination because I need to hit index.html file there. That is why. So this is the stuff which you need to do. Rest is fine. Once that is done, I will simply run the command firebase deploy only hosting, and I have the project. I have Firebase hosting set up properly. I haven't even gone to Firebase to do so because that is already being set up. If you do not have a project, you have to create a new one, and if you have some other way to deploy, definitely go for it. Meanwhile, we are talking, it is already deployed. So within 5 minutes, we have deployed it. And this is the URL. Now, before I start testing it in my Android device in the browser, I want to tell you one more thing here. Since we are dealing with Angular framework, so in Angular framework, mostly when we are working with the PWA, we have to actually create a file called manifest.webmanifest, which is the official standard file, and it avoids any kind of a confusions. That is why I have renamed manifest.json file to manifest.webmanifest. Now, after making this change, you don't need to worry about anything because whatever we did inside that will remain the same. It is detected as the JSON file only, but there is a standard protocol that is being maintained in Angular. That is why this particular file with this extension is properly detected. Now, the same thing I have done in angular.json file also. Replace the file with the extension that we were supposed to pass now. And after doing that, one more change is being done in the index.html file, which is passing this link. You can pass it anywhere. So here I'm just passing the href here in this link so that it gets triggered as soon as you call the index.html file in the service worker. Got it? So once this stuff is ready, I'm going to sync my project once again. So Ionic cap sync. After the syncing is done, I will run Firebase deploy only hosting once again. So once I do that up, it will launch my PWA in Firebase. And I'm going to use this particular URL directly now. As you can see here, I have opened the link in my Android device in the Chrome browser. You can use any browser you want. Now here there is an option. If you click the three dots, you get an option to add to home screen. When you're going for that option, you get another option for installation. You have to go for the installation part. So I'll go for installation of this particular application. Once I go for the installation, just finish the process, and after you finish the process, it is going to install it as an application in your device. So this is done. There you go, app installed. Now if I try to scroll and check my application, this is Capshare. That's the application name which we have created, and you can see it is up and running. Now let's try to share something here. In the browser, I have opened up my website and I'm going to share my website link. So click on share, and we do see the option or not. Yes, we do see Capshare. I'll click on it and it will redirect me to the application. There you can see it is up and running. So it's working pretty fine in our web app also, or PWA, that is integrated properly in our device as an application, which you can see very easily. Last but not the least, I will show you the share image. So I'm just sharing some of my images. Now as you can see, I have Capshare option. If I click on it, it will share the image also. So everything is working fine in Android, iOS, and even as a PWA in Android devices. So you can just work around with this plugin as you want. Everything is pretty smooth to work with, right? So I hope you enjoyed this particular plugin. Do check out the capawesome.io website. Enroll in this Capawesome Insiders. You'll get a lot of plugins within that. Not one plugin, many plugins in one package. And if you haven't checked out our website yet, go and check out right now. A lot of offers are going on, and do check out membership program too. In fact, you have lots of offers in the membership program. What are you waiting for? Go and enroll right now. You get an opportunity to get in touch with me and we can start learning all together. So go and check all of it in the description.